before we get started here. Hey everybody. Hey Jazz. Hope everyone's doing well today on this beautiful morning. Just want to give it a quick second before we get started. So might as well start with a commercial. If you haven't picked up my book, Destiny on Purpose, How to Get What You Truly Want Out of Life. Baby daddy, I ain't your baby daddy. You better cut that out. I'm your husband and the father of your children. I ain't anybody's baby daddy. But if you haven't picked up my book, Destiny on Purpose, How to Get What You Truly Want Out of Life, I highly recommend it. It is an awesome book about how to manifest things into your life that we all are looking for. We're all looking for love. We're all looking for happiness. We're all looking for prosperity. We're all looking for security. And we're all looking for inner peace. So those are the main things everyone's looking for, and this book will help you get there. If you study it, it's not a book to skim through. It's a book to really hone down and study, like a textbook. Now, I want to talk about how do you attract your ideal partner, your soulmate, your twin flame into your life. I just want to say, many people give me a lot of compliments about my relationship with Jazz. Of course, from the outside, everything looks great. And the inside is awesome. But it didn't always start that way. My very first girlfriend that I ever had in my life, cheated on me with my best friend and started me on a downward spiral of just not trusting people. And I remember going from poor relationship to poor relationship to poor relationship. And even if I found a good relationship or found a good partner, I would find some way to sabotage it and screw it up every single time, just because of the fear of opening myself up and letting myself be hurt. But even though I knew in my heart that person wasn't really the one, even though from the outside, because of superficial reasons, because of looks, or because of they had nice things, or they treated me nice, we would be in a relationship, but I knew ideally that was not the person that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And so I'll show you 5 ways on how I attracted an awesome relationship into my own life. And I've known her, Jazz, since 2010, and 10 years is like our 10-year anniversary, 10 years strong, and we're trying to go for another 30, 40, 50 years. And so I'll explain what I did when I was down and out. I finally reached a point where I knew I wanted something better for my life. So number one thing we have to do is decide. I was a player. I was running around being what the Creole would call a vagabond or vagabond, just running around the streets, putting myself in any and everything. And so I had to decide that I wanted something more. So number one, it starts with decision. And we have to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes we still want to screw around. I want somebody as security, but I want to still play around. So you have to decide, number one, that you're ready. Because sometimes you're just not ready. So the person won't come into your life. They say when the student is ready, the master will appear. So I like to say when the person is ready, that ideal partner will appear. So that's one. You have to decide. Number two is what I did is I made a list. When I finally decided I wanted somebody, I made a list of who I felt was an ideal person for me. Ideal person for me, and it may not be an ideal person for you, but the ideal person for me was, so I made a list. I made a list of actually, I think, 25 things of my ideal person. Somebody asked me, Rich, what is your ideal person? You say you want somebody ideal for you. Who is that? So I had to really sit down and jot down. And I was very detailed about that list. I wrote down every single thing that I thought would be ideal for me. Kind-hearted. I wanted them to have a different type of career. I didn't want them to have the superficial, cookie-cutter 9-to-5 career. I wanted something different. And I wrote all these 25 things down into a list. And I put that list away afterwards. That's 2. So I made a list. Number 3 is I had to make room for it. This is really big in the law of attraction, that nature absorbs a vacuum, meaning that nature can't stand idle space. There is no idle space. Even the space between you and me and the camera, there's air there. Every space must be filled. And so when you make room for something, it's like a boat, right? Or a cup. Once you put a hole in that cup, you keep pouring in, because there's always going to be room for more things to come into the cup. So you have to make room for your ideal relationship. And so what I did was I started making room in my closet. This is a real story. I started making a room in my closet because I knew, okay, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, where they're going to put their clothes. I started sleeping on the left side of the bed because I said to myself, well, you got to get used to sleeping on one side of the bed if you want an ideal person. I started making room in my cabinets for, hey, if she wants to stay over, where can she leave her stuff? So I had to make room and open up that space for those things. And also, I had to reject other females. And it was hard, fellas. But I had to, because I had to open up that space. Because if you're not that ideal woman for me, what if she comes into my life and I'm already involved with somebody? So I had to make that space. I remember, there was a few ladies that, hey, Rich, I like you. I said, I appreciate that, but I'm not looking for that with you, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But that took discipline. So I had to make room for the ideal person to enter into my life. So I had to reject the other ones away. Number 4, going back to number 2, that list, I had to become the list. This is critical. See, many times we want other people to do for us, but we're unwilling to do for others. So I had to become my list. I said, I want somebody to be independent. So I had to become independent. I wanted somebody to be kind. So I had to be kind. See, we want things from other people, but we're unwilling to give it ourselves. So, like many people say, I want somebody that's strong and healthy, but you don't work out. I want somebody that is kind, but then you're being mean. I want somebody to be truthful, but you're going around lying. See, you have to become what you want to attract. Again, I love my quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer. You do not get what you want, you get what you are. And so if I wanted to attract an ideal mate, I had to become an ideal mate for somebody else. I started learning how to cook. I started doing laundry. I started washing dishes. I started cleaning the house. Because I'm like, hey, if I want somebody to do those things for me, I have to be willing and open to do those things for that other person. So I became the list that I wrote down. All the attributes I had in that list, I started to act upon those things. So I could become what I wanted to attract. So now we're on even keel. When we started getting back, me and Jazz got back together, we were like on even footing. We were all like I was trying to improve myself, and she was trying to improve herself. So we were both trying to improve ourselves together. And it just seemed to match because, again, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And as I was trying to become better, I remember talking to her. I was like, yeah, I'm listening to Matus on YouTube, this motivational channel. She's like, I've been listening to that too. Coincidence? I don't think so. Is we started attracting to each other because we were magnets doing the same thing. So you have to become the list. Number 5 is date yourself. I spent 1 year dating myself. Literally going to movies with myself, taking myself out to dinner. I used to watch nice movies with a glass of wine, and then I would sit on the left side of the couch and have my hand on the couch as if somebody was there next to me. Why? I had to make room for it again. I had to get used to somebody being there. Sometimes we meet that person and we're unwilling to change. But then that person ends up leaving because, like, well, did you want a relationship or not? You're not acting like you are because we haven't got used to it. So I had to get used to the fact that I was attracting somebody into my life. And I started dating myself. I started cooking for myself. I started spending time with myself because the critical truth is this. If you can't spend time with you, how do you expect somebody else to want to spend time with you? If you can't love yourself, how do you expect somebody else to love you? See, you have to become what you want in that list. So I started to love myself. And as I started to love me, I found somebody that was willing to love me for being just me. not changing, not trying to become anything else, just being me. I was happy just sitting on the couch, watching the movies, drinking wine. I was enjoying my company, my own company. And that's how I found somebody that enjoyed my company as well. So that's number 5. And lastly, number 6 is accept your flaws. Because you're going to attract somebody in your life that at first they're going to have their own flaws. Again, we're expanding creatures. We're always evolving. So the person you meet, your ideal mate, might be in that uphill climb. So they themselves have their own flaws. So if you can accept your flaws, it's easier for you to accept their flaws. So you accept their flaws and you accept your flaws. And know, hey, we're growing together. We're getting better together. And that's how me and her operated. I had my own flaws. I mean, I still left the cabinet doors open. I kept not cleaning up after my hair when I shaved. All these things. And those were my flaws. But then she accepted those flaws. And she had some flaws too, She's Hispanic, so she get the little, I'm gonna get in trouble. But sometimes she get the little attitude, right? But I had to accept those things about her as she was accepting those things about me. And as we accept each other, that's the true essence of love. That we accept our flaws, but we're working on ourselves. So I'll go through the list one more time. Number 1, decide. It's a decision. It's a strong decision. Nothing in life happens without intention. Jim Carrey said that. Nothing in life happens without decision. Pat Beck David said, if you're unready to make a decision, I don't talk to you. Because life changes when you make a decision. Number 2, make a list. Make a list. Make a list of all the things that you are looking for your ideal partner. And this could be a business partner. I got to start doing this for my business partners and relationship partners. You want to make sure you create a list so you know how to decipher who. I'm sorry, there's people checking in. I haven't even shouted nobody out. Shamel, thank you for watching. Natasha, thank you for watching. Miriam, Liara, Jazz, Mo, thank you guys for taking your time to watch this. So number 2, made a list of all the things, 25 things of your ideal partner. Number 3 is you have to make room for it. Make room for it. If there's something in that partner's way, like I remember Steve Harvey's talk when he said that he wanted a new car. And his mother said, well, how can you get a new car if your old car's in the driveway? How can you get a new car if your old car's in the driveway? As soon as he got rid of the old car, he was able to afford the new car. So make room for the space. Make space for that ideal relationship. Number 4, become the list. You have to become the list. You attract what you are. So if you could become the things that you want, you will get what you want. Number 5, date yourself. You have to spend time with you. And then you could see your own flaws and see like, okay, I'm kind of an a-hole. All right? I'm kind of have an attitude problem. Maybe I should adjust those things so when I attract the person into my life, I don't scare them away because of my own internal issues. So date yourself. Get to know you. And figure out the stuff that are really holding you back and start fixing those things, those insecurities that are bothering you, those past relationships that you're still hoarding, those past hurts that you're still involved in. Like you really are involved. Like if you're still in your heart and you're still in your feelings, you're involved in the past relationship. So how can you get a new relationship if you're still involved in the past one? And number 6, accept your flaws and accept other people's flaws. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. People want, I used to think this thing, I want this ideal person that they're completely perfect, and as soon as they come in my life, I'm like, yes, you're the one, yes, we're never fighting, everything's perfect. No. You have to accept their flaws because they're growing and evolving. But the thing is, as you accept their flaws and they accept your own flaws, that's how you start growing together. And and that's really it. Those 6 things, if you do this, I promise you, in your business, if you're looking for an ideal partner in your business, if you're looking for an ideal person in your life, this will happen for you. Because, again, I did this in 2012. No, 2011. Me and Jazz got back. No, lying. 2013? No, 2014, and we got together in 2015. Either way, this will happen for you if you are willing to take this challenge. Again, this is Rich Fontaine. Either you could agree with me or not agree with me, but either way I feel this was a successful conversation. I hope you find true happiness into your life. I know you can by just practicing some laws. But remember, everything filters through you. So you have to be the change that you want to see in your own life. Love is love. I appreciate all of you. Check out Destiny on Purpose on Amazon, or you can get it from my website.